Okay, so let's jump back over here to Matt here and help me out here, Matt. what do we got?
So we've got an interesting product idea, actually. So this came out of, I'm going to forget the guy's name, unfortunately, but someone created a script to prevent people using Google Glass from connecting to local Wi-Fi access points.
Right. Now, why would you want to do that?
So some people have the opinion that a device like Google Glass is invasive to privacy. I mean, it's a camera that's always on and pointing at people in the room. It's not as if, you go to a party, you don't walk around the room with a camera pointed at, but effectively that's what you've got on your face. It's got a microphone, it's got a camera. And some people feel uncomfortable with that idea that people might be taking video of them at all times, taking photos and, bringing them back home to look at later for whatever purpose. So the idea is they'd rather have their privacy in public, which is, I realize is a little bit of a weird thing to say, but I kind of get it.
Yeah.
They'd like to have that somewhat maintained. So this is a technological solution to a technological problem.
I see.
I think it's a societal problem personally, but anyway. So basically what it does is the original script would look for the MAC addresses that are connecting and sending traffic over the local Wi-Fi networks, trying to send traffic. Some people don't know this, but the first three portions of a MAC address typically indicate the manufacturer.
Right.
So turns out Google Glass has a unique 3 portions of that MAC address. If you see it on the network, this script would say, oh, you're using Google Glass, and it would send what's called a deauth frame, and that would terminate the Wi-Fi connection. So what you're doing is you see it, you send the frame, it tries again, you send another frame, tries again, you're basically preventing them from accessing the Wi-Fi network.
Right.
The script was rather derogatorily called glasshole.sh.
Like a black hole.
Like something like a black hole, yes. But the creator of it has now decided to productize this and extended the functionality to other devices like Google's Dropcam, which is a small Wi-Fi camera that connects to the internet as well. Again, the general vein of it is to protect privacy. Now, there's ups and downs to this idea. The first question is it right to even be doing this to Wi-Fi access points that you don't own?
Oh, absolutely.
So say you're out at a bar and you're within reach of 20 different access points and somebody is, they've got their Google Glass on, you're afraid they're going to take pictures of you. If you kick them off the personal Wi-Fi network that you own, maybe you're the bar owner and you want to prevent that, what prevents them from connecting to the other 19?
Right.
The other thing is, these devices typically have onboard storage. So someone can take these pictures, not be able to upload them, but then just leave.
Yeah, so it's not really a good solution to the
It's not a complete solution, and I feel like it's going to be a cat and mouse game if someone tries to come up with a technological solution. I think what we're going to need is a social solution where people figure out what is and isn't appropriate behavior in these sorts of situations, and then start behaving appropriately. I think at this point we've all decided that walking around a room with your camera out, videotaping everybody there without permission is rude.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have to come up with that same standard for other devices.
Perhaps the solution. Can you hand me the tape from over there, please?
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. It's interactive.
Yeah, I think perhaps the solution here is
Brian.
to carry some of this around.
To carry some tape and just slap it on people's face?
Just put it on their Google Glass.
Oh, okay.
But the thing I think is interesting about this is it is about privacy and with private citizens, trying to monitor everybody, I could see how people would get offended. What I did hear about recently is some police forces are now, the police officers have cameras right on their whatever collar or something, and it's always recording what's going on. What they've observed from that is there is a lot less confrontation with whoever they're talking to.
Right.
So I think it was like a 40% decrease in the amount of I don't know what they call it, but attitude from whoever they're talking to. So they were able to kind of de-accelerate the situation.
Yeah, damper the situation a little bit more.
So
do they have like a...
It's very obvious that they have a camera on. And I guess people see that and they're like, oh, okay. And they behave themselves instead of, going crazy like they might.
Sounds like a positive thing to me. There was a lot of controversy about starting to incorporate those as part of what officers were doing, and I'm not sure they were so in support of it either. But perhaps this is showing a good trend.
Right, it has a good side and bad sides probably for each side, but I thought it was an interesting statistic.
All right, and Jim, I guess you were helping us with the originator of that idea.
Yeah, the guy who came up with it, his name was Julian Oliver.
All right, good. Okay, and we absolutely want to give recognition to the people that come up with good ideas. Even though it sounds like it's not a really good technical solution, I think the notion of being able to control access to a Wi-Fi network, and perhaps that's extendable to other kinds of things. If you're trying to protect your local network and you see other things coming on, maybe that's a means to kick them off.
Now, the official page does say there are some caveats, some things you won't be able to do.
Right.
Bluetooth is another portion that they're actually considering putting into the device itself at some point in the future. I found it mostly interesting because using DAuth frames is you're bordering on hacking at that point, which is, it's kind of funny. Typically, you'd use DAuth frames and then, jump in with your own malicious base station at that point and say, hey, here I am. You should come connect to me. So you're pushing the boundaries between a hacker tool and a house appliance, and I think that's kind of fascinating.
Well, I think that there was a time in the past, and I haven't heard this for perhaps 5 years or so, but there was a time in the past where they were trying to make development of malicious software not legal. And that was one of the big controversies, is how do you draw the line between a tool that can be used for good and bad and a tool that's just bad? And so I think that's perhaps a good example where you have some opportunity. Scanning tools were the ones that were right on the top. And really the thing that made the distinction was the name. If it had a bad sounding name, nefarious sounding name, that felt like it was an illegal tool, but it was doing the exact same thing as the things that the security vendors were creating to be able to do, commercial testing of your devices. So in any case, just another observation that came out of this.